Hi, I'm organizing here and I'm showing you my clipboard, and whatever you have, make it yours. This clipboard, I just put this sticky paper on it and I wrote, I must obey God. Why make it yours? I've noticed that people that are rich, they write their names on the things that God gives them. And they take care of these tools and equipment, and that is why I'm making this video. Here it says to Daniel Carone from Daniel Carone, see you at the top, summer of 2007. Now I wrote this back then. My knowledge was that this was from myself, but this actually was given to me by God. All things belong to God. My hands, my thoughts, this iPod, everything belongs to God. And right now, God is letting me use it. Three other tips I have for you here. I wrote down OPM, which means other people's money, OPE, other people's efforts, and OPK, other people's knowledge. This three come from Brian Tracy. He was a sales and motivational speaker slash salesman. Other people's money means that, for instance, this house I'm living in, I'm using the bank's money, or actually, my wife is using the bank's money to be able to live in this house. She is paying the bank slowly with the mortgage. She's using other people's money. Most people put their money in the bank. The bank makes loans. Actually, the bank is using other people's money also. Other people's efforts means that I could clean this house by myself, or I could get my family involved to help me do whatever is necessary. Other people's knowledge means that even though I have a large portion of intelligence that was given to me by God, I do listen to other people. Other people have knowledge. For instance, I'm learning to act like Gandhi. Gandhi would be a teacher on the subject would be how to influence other people. He was poised, which means he was powerful. He could control his tongue. He would speak softly. And he could persuade others to listen to him by the way he behaved. In one movie, I saw him burning some piece of paper that said that even though he was born in India, he had to walk around with some paper that said he was an Indian, or some sort of story like that. Uh, and the white foreigners, which were from England, did not have to walk around like that. There were some rules that said that the whites were superior. Now, after Gandhi in 1948, the human rights were written, which says that we are all equal. And that is, if it's on your mind, we are all equal, yet we are all have different talents and responsibilities. For instance, we are all equal, but in the Bible there's a verse that says, young man, you will stand up before gray hair. Which you could use an example. People used to use buses. I live in Florida. There are very few buses here. But if an old man would come on the bus and I was sitting down and there were no extra seats, then I would stand up and give him my seat. That's an application of, not that the old man is superior to myself, but he is it's a sign of respect. Everyone has to respect each other, or should. Few people do it. All right, what can I tell you? Make things yours. If my grandfather, he had a chair that was just for him to sit on. Nobody else was supposed to sit on that chair. Make things yours. I believe he had very few visitors. The visitors that I remember were in the last days of his life, the last 2, 3 years, were, well, I just remember one old lady that was younger than him by 10 years, maybe by 15. That was it. All right. So, in life, we need friends, and birds of a feather flock together. Some of our friends might have superior talents than we have, and that's why we are attracted to them. We want to improve ourselves. I remember my neighbor, he used to write, he was a 9-year-old boy, I was 7 years old. He used to write his name on the football, United States football, and baseballs, on his baseball cap, everywhere he used to write his name. And what I've heard from another relative of mine is that this young man has become the number 2 man in the Chicago Transit Authority. He was an action person. He would not sit still. He was constantly learning. For instance, when I started working at the pizzeria, he started working there. I was making $2.50 an hour, and I was taking the pizzas out of the oven and washing dishes. On his break, he was learning to make pizzas. Eventually, he was one of the main people there, and he was at $6 an hour. Now the grown men, were at $9 an hour. So that tells you how much initiative he had.